Around 1990 I was very amazed by an Atari ST program. It was called Kandinsky Music Painter. It was by Frank Rhein and Clemens von Reusner. Check out Clemens von Reusner, he's still around, wonderful composer. And they programmed this Kandinsky Music Painter, you can see it here, for the Atari ST. It was used at schools. I did many projects with that. There is quite some literature on the usage of Kandinsky Music Painter because it's a wonderful tool. And 2 years ago, a student came to me, informatics students, looking for a master thesis. And I thought, well, the Atari is not around anymore. You get it as a PD with Steam under Windows. You can run Kandinsky Music Painter. But why not program it new in C++, I think? And he did it and made a master thesis around it, also about the pedagogical potential and the usage of it. It's finished a long time, and I got the permission to show it to you. It's a prototype. It's not on the market, and he also contacted Clemens von Reusner about this Kandinsky Music Painter original. But I think it's very interesting to stick to it because there's not many programs like that around, and I think they're still in demand for pedagogical usage. I know that Tilman Herberger from Magix did around 92. I made a symposium and he showed a music painter, that's how it called it, but it never went to the market, I think. I had a prototype also. But now I'm going to show you what's possible with the new programmed prototype. It's not ready yet. The student, ex-student, is still working on it a little bit, and what's possible with it, that you understand what I mean. And I hope that Clemens and Frank and the student might stick together and make an app out of it, because I think there must be a market for this. So let's check how it works and have some fun with it. Okay, let's go. Program opens immediately right out of the box here. So this is the screen. You have one window that's painting. From left to right is time. From down to up is pitch. And in the second window down here you have some MIDI parameters. Right now it's velocity, could be something else in the future, I don't know. And on the left you have a few selection buttons. That's quite easy for kids to use it. One of the goals was don't make it too complicated. It should work out of the box for the kids, that they understand immediately what's going on here. There are measurements here, so there's also metrical basis. You can put on the BPMs down here. There's a stop, play, and pausing button. You even have a mini monitor for some specialists who need this. And so how does it work? You go into audio settings and set it up. You can use direct sounds, primary sound driver here, or you use a MIDI output. I'm using a MIDI output to the Novation Peak here via USB. It works out of the box also, so that's no problem at all to set it up. It's working. Next thing is you need a new project. I already organized the project, and within this project you need to add a track. You can save it, you can load one, you can also load a MIDI file, and in project settings you can also configure tonality. You can C, C#, D, and so on. Apply it, and that's it. And the number of beats can be also changed. So painting themselves, you can clear the track or show disabled notes. And so let's just start to see what's going on. I say add a track, and I take a line here as a first thing I want to put in. You can also do a line going up and down, and with a double click it's stopping, and then you can hear how it's working. So I didn't start from the beginning, so let's have a look what's going on. Now it's coming, and so that's easy. Every kid can understand that. You can take it, select it, and put it somewhere else in the measurement, and that's quite easy to work with that. So next thing I'm going to do, I take an ellipse a little bit higher up here. So this is a pitch. I take a rectangle, and a Bezier curve. I can do like this. This is quite interesting for music theory. And cubic Bezier. Bezier, yeah. Why not that? You can write your names. I know those days I did this, kids were writing their names. Why not putting in its polyphonic? And a spray can. Spray can is very popular, or was very popular with kids. So I have a little graphical composition here. I can go into the velocity and put it up, put it down, put it down. That's a velocity curve. Could be something else. And after that I play it, and let's listen how it works. So next thing could be to do different MIDI channels and apply the different things here to different sounds. Then you have polyphonic and harmonic stuff you can do, and also rhythmically, if you go to channel 10 and attach a drum computer here for the spray things, you can do something. And very nice is this selection thing that you can rearrange everything. And in the end, it's not only for kids. You can do music theory by that. How do intervals function? How is music perception in this? How is graphical notation? You go into compositions of the 60s like Yannis Xenakis or Logothetis Sticks. Look out for Logothetis, the composition Sticks. He's using graphical notation. Well, this is an algorithm, and kids understand immediately. It's doing exactly what it's told. It's note on, note off, and that's how it works. But imagine this also with different colors and different parameters down here. So there's a lot of potential in this program. Kids immediately understand the meaning of two voices and polyphonic stuff. If you do a few of those and put them one after the other, or select them and put one in here, this one is starting there, then you can discuss what will be happening. Well, it's starting here. This will be transposed a little bit higher, and this will be transposed lower. The start of this will be there. Here it gets polyphonic. These are two voices. Here you have four voices. Here again four voices, but not interfering with each other. How should it sound? You can discuss, and they really reflect on musical issues here. And in the end, they can listen to it. And even with this shabby sound I have here, you immediately understand what's going on. Another example, understanding this line is going a little bit down. It's not staying stable somewhere there. But here this one is stable. And now we have tried going on here, or even another one. So what's happening if I play this? You have a chord, yes? So immediately understand one note starting, and then you have a chord playing. And this is great, and I'll show you later on what you can do with that. So there were three things for ear training. What did you hear here? Very nice approach to hearing if it comes to harmony. This was not a very good example I just did here, but you can imagine there's a lot more things. Even to aleatoric things like using this spray can. If you do this clusters, cluster is just a word, but how do they function? And then use different, or maybe drum sounds. You can imagine that this sounds very nice then, if you use it with very strange sounds. So here we go, here come the clusters. So, well, the peak is not that polyphonic. With 128 voices, I could have very nice cluster things here. And if I want to see the notes here, the MIDI monitor, I can do it. In this case, it doesn't make sense, but there's a monitor showing you the MIDI events, and you can go in there. Also, there's a lot of potential to work with different colors and different sounds. And if you see old Stockhausen works, like Gesang der Jünglinge or things like that, next thing could be working with samples and pitching it up and down. The potential of actual modern computers is good enough to do this. So these are some of, on the surface of my ideas, what you can do with this wonderful master thesis program by a student of mine, informatic. And I hope there will be more in the future. He's still working on it. Well, I'm ready if somebody wants to argue with that or wants to contact me, go ahead and do it, and we get together on this. I think it's really great, and I would like to see that on iPad. Thanks.